This video is about creating your purpose vision board. It's a vision board that includes your personal mission statement and also the other important element associated with living your dharma. Your dharma is your most aligned life and purpose. It's a great time to do this exercise because we're entering the second half of the year, so it's a good time to reflect upon our goals and make sure that they are aligned with what gives us a sense of purpose. Personally, I believe that a purpose board is better than a conventional dream board or goal vision board. A typical vision board usually focuses more on what's called hedonic happiness, which is seeking pleasure. It also tends to contain more like extrinsic goals that are things we think we should pursue or things that we think will make us look good on the outside, like things related to fame or status or wealth. But with a purpose board, we focus more on intrinsic goals, which are goals that are more likely to lead to real happiness, fulfillment, self-actualization, which we call eudaimonic happiness. So in this video, we'll see the elements that go on a purpose board, and they're all inspired by positive psychology. And just note that I create my vision boards in Canva, so I create like digital ones, but you can totally create a physical one by just cutting out like images from magazines if you prefer. So let's begin with your personal mission statement. The reason I'm creating a new vision board this week is that I'm reading right now a book called Creating Your Best Life. And it's a book that combines the science of goal setting with positive psychology, which is the science of human flourishing or the science of living a good life. And in the book, there's a chapter about crafting your personal mission statement. Now, I have a personal mission statement. I created it a while ago. But when I was reading that chapter and thinking of my life and my mission statement, I realized that right now, or maybe in the past few months, I am actually not living in alignment with my mission. It was a bit eye-opening, so I decided to do something about it, and I knew that just writing my mission statement on a piece of paper and sticking it on my wall was not going to be inspiring enough. So that's why I decided to create a vision board. And I put my mission statement at the center. My mission statement is to make the most of my time on this planet, both in terms of enjoying life and evolving, like evolving spiritually. And honestly, I've been working so much in the past few months that I am not really enjoying my life right now. And for the evolving aspect of it, I have not been very dedicated to my spiritual practices or my spiritual life. So you can see that having a personal mission statement is very helpful because if you look at it often, then you're able to assess if you're currently living in alignment with it. And if you're not, then you can adjust your behaviors, your habits, even your goals sometimes. It helps us not to drift away too far or for too long. To create your personal mission statement, you can think of what's the main theme that you want your life to be about. What's the most important in your life? And it's based on your current perspective because your mission statement will probably change over time. It'll probably change in the next 10, 15, 20 years. But based on where you're at right now, what would make you say that you've lived a good life when you're 100 years old? It could be something like, I show kindness to everyone around me, or I empower people to love themselves. It can also be more specific, but I would recommend keeping it pretty broad so that it can sort of englobe many areas of your life. Another very important element to showcase on your board is your core values, because that's from your values that you can then set intrinsic goals that will be fulfilling to you. Here again, you can think of what's most important, what you care most about in your life. Maybe it's your health, maybe it's your romantic relationship, maybe it's your friendships, maybe it's your creativity. Think of how you like to spend your time. Think of how you like to spend your money. You could also take a free online assessment called the VIA Character Strength. VIA stands for Value in Action. It was created by the founder of positive psychology, so it's valid, it's based on research. And what I like about this quiz, this test, is that it gives you your character strength, which are also your values and virtues. For example, some of my top strengths were love of learning, creativity, curiosity, spirituality, hope, and perspective. So there are 24 strengths, and you'll know which one are your top ones. And they are all divided in sort of categories. For example, there's a group of wisdom strength, a group of courage, one is humanity, and one self-transcendence, and I think there's another one I don't remember. So it's very likely that most of your top strength will fall into one main category. For example, my category is wisdom, and that's going to give you quite a bit of insights regarding your top values, your strength, and also the virtues that are more important to you. And then you can add images that represents those values onto your vision board. For example, in my vision board for love of learning, I put the image of a girl reading a book, and I also added spiritual books for spirituality and someone meditating. Now, another element that points to your personal mission and purpose is what feels expansive, what feels good. So what brings you joy? What do you enjoy doing? And also, what gets you in a state of flow? And watching TV doesn't count here. In positive psychology, it's called cheap flow. If you want real flow, it's something that you're really engaged in, like something that you're creating something, or you're walking in nature and you're mindful. That's the kind of flow that we're talking about. And of course, we also want to include our aspirations, our goals, and more specifically, those that align with our values, those that are true to us. A good way to know if your goals aligned with your purpose is if you enjoy the process, if you feel enthusiastic in the process about the actions you need to take to move toward your goal. It's something Eckhart Tolle talks about in the book, A New Earth. He says that when we feel enthusiasm, it's an indicator that our actions are aligned with our true purpose. Next, we have contribution and impact. Deepak Chopra said, when you combine your ability to express your unique talent with service to humanity, then you make the full use of the law of dharma. Again, dharma means your most authentic life and purpose. The best way to contribute is to use our natural strength or talents to create value in the world, or to create value even for just one person. You can use the information you got from taking the quiz I mentioned earlier, the VIA Character Strength Assessment, and then you can look at your top strength and see if you can combine them with activities that you enjoy doing that would also have a positive impact on other people. For example, if you like to paint, instead of keeping your paintings to yourself, you could give a painting to someone, or sell your art, or maybe organize an exhibition where you can showcase your art, or just show your process on social media. This way you would create value by sharing your strength, by sharing your gifts. Next, you can think of your relationships. So according to positive psychology, that's the number one ingredient to happiness and living a good life, the quality of our relationships. So you could add to your boards images that represent what fulfilling relationships mean to you. You could include images for your romantic relationship, your friendships, the relationship you have with your family, and even your colleagues. And lastly, you may want to add elements that represent your ideal lifestyle. For example, it's again very important to me to spend a lot of time outside, so I put a lot of images of nature. I also want to spend winters somewhere warmer than Canada, so I put a lot of images of the ocean and palm trees. I also added a few keywords on my board, just some important words. And something new I did this time that I had never done before is to leave a white stripe, like a white section on the side of the board, and I'm gonna print it that way. I'll go on Monday. It's closed now because it's the weekend, but I'll go print the vision board on Monday. And then what I'll do is I'll write my current projects, or maybe habits I want to build like this month or in the next few months, and I'll write them down on papers, like on little pieces of paper, and I'll just stick them on the white zone of my vision board. And this way I can just change the papers when my projects change. I'll add a playlist of videos about finding your purpose and personal mission and values. I'll put that on the screen and also in the description below if you want to watch it. I think the main difficulty of doing this exercise is actually knowing our values, knowing our strength. So I think the other videos will help you if you need to go deeper. So I wish you a beautiful day, a beautiful week, and I'll see you next week.